Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Yin Yoga class. I'm Sarah Collins. We're going to move through a full class this week and we're going to move through without our usual props. So although there is a lot of adjustments given and options given to the postures in Yin Yoga, we can adjust the body without our usual blocks and bolsters and things that we use. This class is suitable for absolutely anyone. If you're a complete beginner to Yin, you'll be totally fine. If you're more experienced in yoga and you're used to a Yin class, you'll also get a lot from this. So I look forward to having you join me on the mat this week. So as much as I said there'll be no props, I am going to give you some options using some cushions because we've all got a couple of cushions lying around on the sofa or on the bed. So pause this if you need to, go grab yourself a couple of cushions that you have laying around, but that is all you will need. Okay guys, so we're going to begin this week in child's pose rather than our usual opening shavasana pose. So I'm going to ask you to find your way onto your knees. And you can have a little parting in the knees, maybe keep the big toes together. If any of you find that child's pose or kneeling is too strong for the knees, the hips or the ankles, just lay onto your back in our traditional shavasana pose. So just laying onto your back with your arms slightly away from your body and have a more relaxed few minutes here. For those of you that are all good with your child's pose, we'll take our child's pose now. So just walking the hands out in front of you, letting your head come down towards the floor. And resting your head into the floor. If you want to, you can rest your head up onto your hands, or you can make fists with the hands if your head doesn't quite naturally reach the floor. And just softening the shoulders, softening the arms, really allowing your body to give its weight over to the floor. Breathing in and out through the nose. Allowing the belly to rise and fall as you breathe. And each time you breathe out, allow your body to let go a little bit more than the breath before. Actively give the weight of your body over to the floor. Become heavy. Start to become soft in the muscles. It's as if tension in the body is just falling away each time you breathe out. Face is becoming soft. We're just allowing things to become still. Just stop for a moment before we begin our practice. We're going to take a few deeper breaths before we begin. I'm going to ask you to draw your breath in through your nose all the way up to the very top. Hold your breath in at the very top and out through the nose all the way down to the end. Take two more of those deeper breaths, but my challenge to you here is to really slow the breath down. Don't be in any kind of a rush now that we've come to our Yin Yoga practice. Allowing the breath to come all the way up to the very top, all the way down to the very end.
For those of you that are new to Yin Yoga, we're going to be softening the body whilst the body is in the posture. Yin Yoga is a practice of letting go, so we start physically. So before we do any postures, I just want you to take a moment to really tune into the feeling of your own body. And we'll be doing lots more of this as we move forward, but let's just make that initial connection. Just start to sense and feel that there is a body there. You might even immediately sense tension or gripping in certain areas or muscles. And as you connect with the feeling of your body, just take a few more moments here to allow your body to continue to let go as you breathe out. Breathing out, letting go. Breathing out, letting go. And once more, I invite you to allow the belly to rise as you breathe in and fall as you breathe out, so that as we move through this class, you are breathing down into the belly, which is incredibly restorative and calming. And each time you breathe out, there is an opportunity there for you to let go. Maybe physically, maybe mentally. But it's the breath out that's going to kind of guide us through this process of letting go as we move through our postures. Okay, so we're going to move into our first posture. So if you're lying on your back, you can make gentle movements, maybe hug the knees in towards the chest. If you're coming up from child's pose, walk the hands in. If you are lying on your back, I want you to roll to your side and take a few moments before you sit up. Or come into a seated position. Okay guys, so from our seated position, we're coming straight into butterfly posture. So taking your feet in close, not completely, not all the way. You leave a little bit of gap between your sitting bones and your heels, so just over a foot gap. Let your knees fall out to the sides. Now you can allow your hips and you can allow your thighs to relax and let go here. And if it feels too strong in the knees or the hips, you can use cushions. So if you do have those cushions available, you can just prop your cushions under the legs. So you want to be feeling stretch in your hips, but you don't want to be feeling anything sharp, painful or aggressive. So these are just an option to just take the edge off if it's feeling too strong for you. So we'll make our way down, sitting up nice and tall, soft shoulders, soft face. Lean forwards, keep the length in your spine for a moment. And now we're going to start to relax and become passive, so you can start to allow your spine to round, your head to lower, your neck muscles beginning to relax. So you're giving the weight of your body forwards, allowing your body once more to become gradually heavy and soft and passive. So each time that you breathe out, allow your body to let go a little bit more than the breath before. And if you find that you are feeling strain in the neck or even around the upper back and shoulders, just rest your elbows into your lower legs and rest your head into your hands. And if you're taking this option, do allow your hands, your wrists to be soft as they can be. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And our only job really in these yin postures is to use this time to allow ourselves to find just little ways to let go each time we breathe out. So it's a process of relaxation and letting go. Breathing out, letting go. Breathing out, letting go. And just allow your body to let go. Don't try to force it. Don't try hard to relax. Just allow, just invite your body to let go if it's ready, when it's ready. There's no rush. Breathing out, letting go. Breathing out, letting go. Your arms can relax up onto the feet, out onto the floor in front of you, or even under the legs. Some people like to tuck their arms under their legs. So there's no right or wrong in Yin, just feeling into what feels just right for your body. Breathing out, letting go. Just allowing tension to fall away little by little, bit by bit. And there's no rush, there's no hurry. We're just breathing and allowing this to unfold. The more you breathe out, the more you let go. Allowing yourself to connect with the body. With the eyes closed, we begin to feel and sense the presence of the body. Feel the feeling of the body there. We start to feel into the muscles and the tissues, just beginning to understand and notice where we may have been gripping or holding on. And knowing that we have plenty of time now to breathe with those areas and invite those areas to let go. For our last few breaths here, breathe a little deeper down into the belly, letting the belly rise as you breathe in. Feeling just how therapeutic the breath can be. We're going to just slowly now walk the hands back in. Take as much time as you need to come out of these postures. Slower is better. And I want you to just help those knees back into center. Take your hands down onto the floor behind you and just take some gentle movements here. So some of you may prefer to just be a little bit more still. Maybe you're really enjoying the stillness of the practice. Taking the feet wide and just resting the knees together, keeping the shoulders soft, maybe keeping the eyes closed as you continue to connect with the feeling of your body more and more. Some of you may prefer movement. You may want to take your feet with just a little gap and take your knees down from one side to the other. It's always really nice here to look in the opposite direction and just take a little twist as well as we move the knees from side to side. Staying as soft as you can be in your body, even though you're moving here. This is still part of your practice.
This is still time to be tuning in, being present. Okay, so when we feel like we've had enough movement and we've allowed things to kind of return to normal, if you like, in the body, we're going to take the feet wide and we'll come into another forward fold. So we're just going to be here for a few minutes in this posture. If you have your cushions available to you, you can place them under the legs. And this is for those of you that need something a little bit more gentle. Once you're down there, if it's all feeling too harsh, along the backs of the legs, use cushions underneath. If you don't have cushions, you can just create a little bend into your legs, and that will take the edge off if it's feeling too strong. So if not, we'll just have the legs flat on the floor as usual, and we'll sit up nice and tall. We don't want to just collapse in on ourselves, so we want to sit up tall for a moment, reach that spine out long as we lean forwards, and then we relax in slowly. And I want to mention here that, some of us will remain up further, higher, some of us will come down lower, and there's no right or wrong. It doesn't mean you're not good at the posture, it just means that your body is a little bit different. It will settle where it settles. So just let your body be the body that it is. Let it do what it needs to do. So just slowly relaxing again, giving the weight of the body forward, softening the neck, the face. Shoulders are letting go, upper arms are letting go. Each time we breathe out, the body softens a little bit more. Breathing out, letting go. Softening the stomach muscles. Nothing that we need to hold on for or grip onto now. This is a good time to allow ourselves to let go. Again, your arms can just place themselves somewhere comfortable. The upper arms and shoulders can relax. If any of you want to, and you have those cushions available, you can just place them in front of you and rest your head into the cushions in front of you if you need to give support to your neck. If you're close to the floor, some of you will be able to rest your head into your hands. You could even use books underneath the elbows to just give yourself some support to the head if you need it in this posture. So allow this to be meditative. Close the eyes and just start to notice the feeling of your own body again. Come away from the outside world, come away from all of the subjects and challenges that your mind has been moving through. Come away from all of that for a moment and just allow yourself to feel the feeling of your own body. And begin to rest your attention with the body. So there's no effort, you're not trying very hard to concentrate, you're just letting the feeling of the body occur to you more and more, and you're just allowing your attention to just rest there with the feeling of the body. Nowhere else you need to go, no effort needs to be made mentally. Just let yourself be here and feel and sense and start to feel into muscles and tissues. Where are you holding on potentially? Where have you been gripping and holding your stress or resistance? Scan through, begin to connect
and notice. All the while breathing out, letting go. Every time you breathe out, there is an invitation to the body to let go. Even softening away from mental effort when it comes. You can just breathe out and let those thoughts fall away. Allowing the surrender and the softening to deepen. The more you breathe out, the more you let go. Few more breaths here. Pressing the palms into the floor, a slow walk back to an upright position, soft shoulders and face. Maybe we just take those legs back together. Maybe we point and flex the toes a few times. Maybe you want to just move your shoulders a little, loosening, softening any more stiffness and tension that may have been held in the shoulders. And maybe you want a little bit more movement into the legs. So those windshield wipers just work perfectly for these two postures. Just dropping the knees from side to side. Or maybe you're somebody who would prefer to just press into the feet and lift the hips for a moment. Maybe you want to stay there, maybe you want to move up and down a few times. So there's no right or wrong in these moments in between. So if you feel like you've had enough movement now, we can move into our next posture. So coming over onto your belly, we're coming into Sphinx posture, which is a really lovely yin back bend that we can do at home, and we can adjust it to suit our own unique bodies even without props. So resting into forearms, the elbows just directly underneath the shoulders to begin with, softening through the middle of the body, through the spine. Let all the back muscles begin to relax slowly. And as you soften your shoulders away from your ears, your head can just come to quite a neutral position to begin with. Relax the thighs and the hips. Just giving the middle of the body over to the floor, so almost like the spine is allowed to drape towards the floor. And if this feels too strong in the back, we can easily adjust just by taking the hands and arms forwards and lowering the chest. So the further forwards the arms go, the lower the chest, and the more gentle this back bend becomes. You may even find that laying flat is where it feels just right for you. So taking the hands out as far as you need to, the highest point you could be here is just elbows under shoulders. Some of you may enjoy just dropping your head forwards for maybe even just a few moments. You might even like to just rock the head from side to side and stretch into the back of the neck. And then take the head back to a neutral position. Keep the face soft, jaw soft, shoulders soft. Breathing out, letting go. Breathing out.
out, letting go. So this yin posture does require a little bit of activity through the arms and shoulders. We can still soften around that necessary yang-like activity. If you wanted to support yourself under the chest with a couple of cushions, you can do if you have those handy. And for some people, taking the feet wider just takes pressure away from the lower back. Some people prefer to have the feet together. So just have a little feel into whatever feels best for your lower back. And as we relax more and more into this, we can feel that compression through the back. Breathing out, letting go. Maybe closing the eyes, connecting once more with the body and the breath. And just exploring. Taking this time out to allow yourself to find little ways of letting go. Letting go of tension from the body. Letting go of resistance and gripping. And letting go mentally of that mental activity, that mental effort. Becoming more spacious and still, more effortless and soft. As you're breathing in, allow the belly to rise, and you'll feel that belly just gently press against the floor. Let your breath be relaxed and smooth. Maybe lengthen the breath just a little, nothing too strenuous, just slightly lengthening the in-breath and then the out-breath. Just breathing a little deeper, a little smoother. Finding little ways to let go. And remember, you can always take rests from your postures. We're going to have an option now to come a little deeper, but before we do, I just want you to come down and take a rest for a few moments. Maybe rest your head into your arms or into the floor. Feel the breath coming in, the body expanding. Feel the breath leave. Sit with each breath as it's happening. Letting the air move through the nose. Just allow yourself to be here in this moment. Spending more time in the here and now, rather than with the stories and the chatter of the mind. Really tuning into the present moment, the feeling of your body, the feeling of your breath, the experiences that you're having here and now. Okay, so we'll come up a little deeper now, and this is just an option, so you may want to come back to the posture you were just doing, and that may feel just right for you right now, and you may even want to take the arms forward and take a more gentle version for the next minute or so. But if you do feel like you want something deeper, you can press into your palms and come up into seal pose, so quite a lot deeper. You can have some cushions just under the belly here to support the weight of your body, but do make sure that your hips stay ground into the floor so the cushions don't go that far back, they stay around this belly area. Some people prefer to take their arms out to the sides, and that's just where they feel more comfortable. And as we tune into the sensations that we are receiving through the back, we want to make sure always in Yin that we've found that perfect edge, not too little, not too much. If it gets too much, just bring yourself back down. Keep your breath smooth. Keep your shoulders as soft as they can be. Maybe close the eyes. And just accepting this moment exactly as it is. Not trying to change or fix anything, not trying to get to anything or get away from anything. There's no effort, there's no striving in Yin, just being here, just being present, just being in this moment and just allowing it to completely be as it is. So it's a very deep letting go internally when we stop resisting the moment that we're in, when we stop trying to change it or analyze it. We just give over to it and let it be. Just be in the moment and let it be. If at any point this becomes too much, you lower. Is there anywhere in your body right now that's willing and ready to let go? Anywhere that could soften, even if it's just the forehead or the jaw or the muscles around the eyes. So finding that softness wherever you can. And we'll take a few more breaths here in this deeper back bend. So lowering slowly. You may feel a little fragile on the way out of a back bend in Yin, and that's pretty normal stuff. So just move slowly, lowering all the way down for a moment. Maybe rock the hips from side to side if you want to give a little movement. And then pressing into the palms, you can come back. And maybe you want to do just a few cat-cow movements, lifting the head up, dropping the belly, drawing the shoulders back away from the ears, and then pushing in the opposite direction slowly. And this is where things may feel a bit stiff after our back bend, so pressing the floor away, arching the spine. Maybe you want to hold just this position for a little while, or maybe you want to move between the two. One of my favorite things to do with cat-cow is just concentrating on the shoulders. So as we arch the back, the shoulder blades pull apart and the shoulders hunch up towards the ears. And then when we go in the opposite direction, the shoulders draw away from the ears and the shoulder blades pull together. The other movement we can do here is just being aware of how we tuck the tailbone under. So when we move from our arched position, we tuck the tailbone under first. So those lower vertebrae move first, and then the middle,
and then the upper. And pressing the middle of the back up towards the ceiling.
Okay, so I just want you to rest in child's pose just for a few moments. I'm just going to give you a little bit of space and silence
To breathe and be here. Noticing the details of your moment. And again, if you need to make fists, you can do to support the head. If you prefer to have your arms behind you, you can do that too. And just be heavy for a moment, give your weight to the floor. Feel your breath coming and going. There's nothing more that needs to be done right now than just this, just being here, being with your breath, with your body. Okay, so just slowly rolling the spine back up, coming back up to our upright position. And we'll come over onto the back now, so just taking the legs around in front of you and laying down. So with thread the needle posture, we're just going to take the feet in and we'll have the feet hip distance apart. We're going to take the right foot up onto the left knee, reach through and take hold around the back of the left thigh. Softening your shoulders back into the earth. You can have your head supported by a cushion here if you need. And if we wanted to get a little deeper into this, we reach up and take hold around the knee. And as we lean back, that pulls the knee in a little bit closer. So whichever one of these two that you choose, make sure that you find that perfect edge. Not too little, not too much. In a yin posture, you should always feel able to be here, able to be in the posture for that length of time. So we don't want to come up against that hardest edge straight away. We want to find that middle ground. It's a very nurturing and restorative practice. So nothing is done in a harsh way. Nothing is aggressive. We're not forcing or pushing. And the same goes for our internal practice. So as we meditate with the feeling of the body, the feeling of the breath coming and going, we're not harsh with ourselves. We're not tense. We're not concentrating very hard. There's a relaxation and a softness about the way we move through everything in yin. So I invite you once more to close the eyes and just allow the feeling of the body to occur to you. And really beginning to rest your attention once more with the feeling of your body. Notice the feeling of the floor beneath you. Notice the feeling of your clothes against your skin. Notice the feeling of the air moving through your nose as you breathe. What little details are there that you haven't already noticed? What is there to notice in this moment that you haven't yet perceived? So as you sit with the feeling of your body, explore, investigate, but always with a soft and gentle nature, not too much effort.
body right now that's tense or gripped on, that doesn't need to be, anywhere that's ready and willing to let go as you breathe out. Could you let that surrender, that softening step even deeper still? And don't worry if the mind is coming and going. Just try not to pay too much attention to anything the mind has to say. It can be there, it can come and go, but we don't need to give it our attention. And whenever you need to breathe out and let go, you can always allow thoughts and subjects to just fall off and fall away from you, just as the tension in the body does. Tension or effort in the mind can fall away too. We'll take a few more breaths on this side. Lowering the leg, letting go of that left leg. Taking the right foot down to the floor. And I'm going to ask you to just take your arms slightly out to the sides. Take your feet as wide as your mat, if you're on a yoga mat. And take your knees all the way down to one side. Maybe you look in the opposite direction. And then take the knees over to the other side. You might like to breathe in as you move one way. Breathe out as you move the other way. So just moving between these 2 points. Maintaining softness where you can and presence with the body. Enjoying smooth, long, deeper breaths. Okie dokie, so knees back to center. Feet come back in if they've come further forwards. And we will take the left foot up onto the right knee. Reaching through, taking a hold around the back of the right thigh. And the other side of your body may feel very different. That's quite normal. So maybe the thigh is where you land, or maybe you reach up and take hold around the knee. And by the way, you can deepen your postures at a later date. You don't have to deepen right away. Often, if you come up to a kind of more gentle edge to begin with, the body will feel more safe. And eventually the body will invite you in a little deeper. And that's when you can take that deeper posture around the knee. Head can be supported by a cushion. And we can just breathe here. This is rest time. Yin for me has always been a space in which you come away from all of the trying and all of the doing of everyday life. So I just want to remind you that there's nothing that you need to be doing right now. For many of us, that's a revelation. For those active doers, that it's okay to have some space and time in these postures. There's nothing that needs to be done. There's nothing we're striving for. Striving falls away. There's nothing we're reaching for or trying to make happen. There's nothing we need to fix or improve or control. This is our rest time, and it's okay to just simply be here and breathe. To be effortless, to be soft, to be still, to let go. And we just gently occupy the mind with observation of the moment, Our attention always has to be placed somewhere, so if our attention is not with the mind making its various efforts, we just place our attention or rest our attention in the here and now, just simply noticing all the little details of this moment, the cool air against the skin, the sensation of stretch, the feeling of the breath coming and going, even the sounds around us. Just absorbing this moment fully. Remember, you can always deepen or lessen by taking hold around the thigh or the knee. Nothing should be harsh in terms of sensation, so if it's becoming too harsh, you back away. A few more breaths on this side. Releasing the foot back down to the floor. And same again, take those feet wide, take the arms out to the side and drop the knees over in one direction, taking the head in the opposite. And then moving between the two. Lovely, opening through the thighs, the hips. And you don't have to take the knees all the way down to the floor. You may do a more gentle version, just coming part way, honoring whatever your body needs you to do. Always, always listen to that body of yours. It's the only home you have to live in. So listen to what it's telling you. Okay, so I just want to end with what's called banana asana pose, and a lovely stretch for the side of the body, straightening the legs out in front of you, taking your arms up above you, either straight. You can take hold of one wrist gently, or you can relax the arms just kind of slightly out to the sides. But walking your feet over to the right. So you're going to walk the feet until you get as far as you can go. And if your left hip wants to lift up, you need to stop. You want your hips to be totally even here. So this left hip does not lift up. So once our feet have walked as far right as they can, the head and shoulders shuffle over to the right. And we come in literally into the shape of a banana or a half moon. And this is where the arms can either be dead straight or they can be released to be out to the side. I know some people even feel really comfortable just tucking their hands behind their head. So we're all very different in how we get comfortable in this posture. Try to soften through the body as much as you can. You do need to hold a degree of activity to hold the posture. But you can also take your left foot and just cross it over your right and give that left side of the body a deeper stretch. So again, that gentle edge, not too little, not too much. Just enjoying a few more moments here. All of this allows us to explore silence and stillness, effortlessness and surrender. That's what we're here to explore, and it's all like a counterbalance to everyday life, to the
the activity and the doing and the trying and the effort, mentally and physically, that goes into every day, every moment that we're waking and conscious. This practice is an exploration of softening, being still, being effortless. I just want to invite you to continue to connect with your body, to breathe out and allow your body to continue to find little ways to let go. To not need to do anything or be anywhere, but just be willing to be still, to be soft, to be rather than do. Last few breaths here. Again, really taking your time. If the body feels fragile and stiff, just walk the head and shoulders back to center. Walk the feet back to center. And this time I'm just going to invite you to just kind of bring the feet in, press that lower back into the floor and hug those knees in towards the chest, and just enjoy hugging into a ball, maybe rocking the knees from side to side or into circles and massaging the lower back into the floor. Okay, and we're ready to try the other side. So taking the legs straight out in front, arms up above in whatever position feels right to you, walking the legs to the left, keeping the hips even, walking the upper body over to the left, a little bit of shuffling over. And if you wanted to, at any point, you can cross your right leg over your left, so it's the leg on the outside goes over the leg on the inside for something a little deeper. Close the eyes. Even though the mind may want to kind of entice you away, whatever comes in to your mind, breathe out, let it fall away, and just simply be willing to once more close the eyes. Feel the feeling of your own body, scan around. Feel all the different parts of your body. Fit into muscles, fit into tissues, and just be here. Just notice all of those little details. And just be effortless and still. Breathing out, letting go. Breathing out, letting go. Whenever that mind entices you back and your attention is resting with whatever the mind is coming up with, just know that as soon as you notice that that's happened, you can just breathe out and let those thoughts fall away. You do not have to give your attention to the mind's activity. So let it come in,
And then just let it go. Grounding your attention with the present moment, with the here and now. Is there anywhere in your body that's resisting or gripping that doesn't need to be? Could we allow the body to even further still? Find little ways to soften. So walking the upper body back to center. And one more time, hugging those knees into the chest, rocking the knees from side to side and releasing any stiffness that may have built around the lower back or the hips. If you want to circle the knees, you can. If you would like to take your feet to the floor and make those windshield wiper movements, again, you can. So whatever just feels really juicy and really good to you. Okay guys, so we're going to take a closing shavasana. Take plenty of movement. If you have a blanket handy, you can have a blanket over the body. You can have a cushion under the back of the neck or under the back of the knees for support to the lower back. If you don't have cushions and your lower back feels uncomfortable laying flat on the floor, you can just take your feet wide and let your knees rest in together. Arms can come away from the body, or you may prefer just flat legs. Closing the eyes, breathing through the nose. And I'm going to ask you to become aware of the feeling of the floor beneath you. Scan down through the back of the body and feel all of those contact points between the back of the body and the floor. And when you're very aware of the connection between body and floor, I want you to feel the solidity and the support of the floor beneath you. I'm going to leave you in silence for a few minutes now. And I'm going to invite you, as you spend that time, to just allow your body to give its weight over to that support of the floor more and more each time you breathe out. Breathing out, letting go. Breathing out, letting go. So that each time you breathe out, you sink a little deeper into that support of the floor beneath you. guys. So we're going to invite a little bit of movement back by wriggling fingers and toes. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can take more of those if you want. Take your arms up above you, stretch out from fingers to toes. Have a really good stretch there, and then roll slowly over onto your side, resting your head into your arm. And pausing there for a few moments. Press your hand into the floor, make your way up to an upright seated position. Just sitting tall for a moment, soft shoulders, soft face, and just take a moment to reflect and notice the changes in you, the changes in your body. Bring your hands together at heart center. Drop your head to your fingertips. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for being here with me today, guys, and thank you for choosing this video. I'd love to hear how you got on in the comments, and I'd love it if you could hit the subscribe button and the little bell if you enjoyed this class and you'd like to see more classes from me. That way you can stay in touch. Another way that you can stay in touch is by jumping onto my website, which is Sarah with a H, S-A-R-A-H, JC.com, sarahjc.com. And you can subscribe to my mailing list there, and that way you'll find out about any kind of new content that I'm bringing out, and you can keep up to date with things like my blogs. I have some new videos coming soon, which will be in-depth videos around the postures and that kind of thing, so you can stay in contact with me there. And thank you very much once more for being here with me. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the class, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.